So it's time to preview our games that we're going to be visiting this weekend. So yes, I said games plural. We're splitting up. We're going to be doing. Landon will be in Starkville, going to see Tennessee play there against Mississippi State. I'm going to be going to Oxford to see Ole Miss take on LSU. Both of these games are huge for the SEC. All of these teams are still in contention to do something important with their season. Whether you think Mississippi State's capable of doing that or not, or a one-loss Tennessee team has any implications, I think all four of these teams have a lot at stake right now. So very important games on the slate. I don't know that we're going to be visiting a game together for a couple weeks. We're still to be determined on some future games, but right now, these are the most exciting games that I've been looking forward to for the past couple of weeks. I picked Mississippi State to go 4-0 going into this game. Unfortunately, even though I wanted them to have the upset here, I picked them to lose. Had Tennessee winning 37-27. Should be a fun game. I'd love to see an upset here from Jeff Levy. That would be awesome, but I just think Tennessee's too balanced. Firepower is going to get to State. I think Tennessee probably wins in the trenches too. So
I unfortunately have Tennessee as well. I just think they had too much for us to keep up with here. I think it's a slow bleed. I think they could get like the lead here early, but just Tennessee would just impose their will throughout the game. I have them winning this one 42 to 34. Maybe State scores a late touchdown to give themselves a shot, onside kick, but it's going to be really tough for State to win this game.
yeah, I think big plays are the biggest question mark in this game for both teams. These are both teams that are always going to be looking for the big play opportunity. Whether they see a hole in the zone or they like a man coverage on the outside, they like, yeah, my guy's going to win that. We're going to throw that at some point. And they wait for the right look. These teams do that a lot. I know a lot of teams are focused on those big plays, but these two teams specifically are teams that you got to watch out for in that department. So if State can generate big plays consistently, like I'm not talking like they throw a huge touchdown on all their touchdowns. I'm just saying if they can come away with a big play maybe once a quarter, even if it's not a touchdown, those big plays impacted the game against Arizona State. And that was a pretty complete football team. They may not have been elite, but it was enough to beat them, even though they mounted a comeback. Tennessee's going to need big plays too. I just don't think Mississippi State's going to be able to get those plays like the third and shorts or the third and longs where, yeah, I just don't see if it's an obvious passing situation, Tennessee giving up a third and long. I don't see Mississippi State knowing they have to run the ball, getting the push on third and short to beat a Tennessee team in that down and distance. That's where I think these two teams differ is the trenches. They profile similarly on offense, but it's going to come down to defense for me. I think Tennessee wins. So it should be a really fun game. Hope Landon has a good time in Starville. We'll get back to that at the end of next week, and we'll talk more about it. I've got Ole Miss taking on LSU in Oxford. I've had my eye on this game probably since this time last year, since we lost in Death Valley in very unreasonable fashion on the Kyron Lacey touchdown in overtime. Rest in peace. That was a tough game to swallow for me. That was horrible. As an Ole Miss fan, I think I knew from the first quarter we were going to lose, even though we absolutely played better. Which, to be fair, we didn't win, so technically we didn't play better. But I felt like we were the better team on the field. This year, however, LSU comes into Oxford as probably one of the most bet on team. I would imagine there's so many people riding on this hype train for LSU. Uh, if you're not an LSU fan, I think you got to be looking at this game through the lens of what does this team present as a threat to Ole Miss. Really, to me, offensively, they're one dimensional. They're a check down heavy team. They're dink and dunk, hitch routes, out routes, little fancy stuff to get their speedy wide receivers the ball. It just doesn't really strike me as, oh, crap. Like, we got LSU. What are we going to do on defense? Like the past couple of years. Like when we played them in 23 and they came to Oxford, we needed like 56 points to beat them at home. That's how good that offense was. So I don't think this game is anywhat similar to that game from 2 years ago or even really last year. I think LSU's offense is very average at best, maybe slightly above average. Um, cannot run the ball. Nothing has changed. I tried to give them credit against Clemson, but I can't even really lean back on that to say that they can run the ball. They are one of the worst teams in the entire country running the football. So I don't think that changes in this game. I think Ole Miss is going to make them run the football. I think they're going to see a lot of 3 down and 4 down looks from Pete Golding saying, hey, you know what? Go ahead. Try to run inside zone on us, please. We'd love to see you try and run inside zone on our 6'8" defensive tackle. Go for it. Get 1 yard. We would love to have a third and long against LSU. So we've been dealing with a lot of teams with dual threat quarterbacks. Not in this case. Garrett Nussmeier presents little to no threat when left, even with nobody keying in or having an eye on him defensively. So with that being said, Ole Miss's offense is the key in this game. Even though LSU is one dimensional and they're going to be really easy to key on for Pete Golding and the defense. I think Ole Miss's offense against LSU's defense is the matchup. I think LSU's defense is really good. Credit to where credit's due. They're one of the best in the country. Ole Miss's offense is one of the best in the country right now. Trinidad Chambliss has been playing incredible football against average competition, yes, but at home with the kind of play we're getting from Trinidad Chambliss, I like our guys better than their guys on defense right now. I may not in the third or fourth quarter of the game on Saturday, but right now I feel like we might have an advantage there that people aren't really seeing. We've just got so many playmakers. We've got to be able to run the ball though. Our rushing offense has been very spotty, so that's going to be huge. If we get quarterback run going, pop some big runs with Lacey, I just think that this offense is going to have a really solid outing. It's going to struggle at times because it's a really good defense, but is going to have a good enough outing to win this game. I've got Ole Miss winning 34-28. Picked them to lose this game preseason, but LSU has done nothing but give me reasons why they could lose this game ever since week one. And Ole Miss has given me reasons since week one on why they should be able to win this game. So I'm going with the hot hand. I think Ole Miss is the better football team. Maybe not all around, but in the matchup that matters the most, I think they're the best. It should be close, though.
I'm just so sick and tired of all this LSU glaze. It's been absurd. And it all started from the win against Clemson. And Clemson has proved so far this year that they're not good at all. And they suck right now. So that kind of takes that away. And then LSU beat Florida 20-10. Florida's been terrible. Florida gifted them 5 turnovers, and they still only scored 13 points on offense because one of those was a pick six. But there's been nothing from LSU that's impressed me besides their defense. But where their defense has improved, their offense has gotten worse. Zero run game, averaged less than 4 yards per carry against Southeast Louisiana last week.
That's
I mean, that's brutal. You cannot win with that. And Ole Miss has looked very impressive so far. Last week, extremely impressive performance against Tulane. I know it's Tulane, G5 team, but Tulane's a good football team. Very impressive to dominate them the way they did. They get this game at home, and just I don't see LSU being able to keep up offensively. I know their defense is good, but they have not faced an offense nearly as good as Ole Miss yet. I think that they are gonna. It's gonna show up that they haven't played a good offense yet in that game a little bit. I don't think Ole Miss is gonna just light up the scoreboard against them. But I do think they will score enough points for LSU to not be able to keep up in the end. And I like Ole Miss to win this one 31-24.
Yeah, two things to look out for here. One thing is LSU's opponents that they were claiming were huge wins for them, which were, I guess they really mainly meant Clemson. Their two big wins this season, Florida and Clemson, combined 2-6 to start the season. 2-6. Each had one win. Florida beat Long Island. Clemson had to have a comeback rally to beat Troy at home. I, I'm sorry. Ole Miss's schedule has been more impressive. The teams they've had to play. I think their road win at Kentucky is legitimately more impressive than any of the wins that LSU currently has.
LSU's best win is like arguably Louisiana Tech right now.
Yeah, looks is currently favored to win their conference. That might be their best win. They only scored 23 points. So I just, I don't know. I think that LSU could be very fraudulent. And I obviously am praying on their downfall. I would love for that to be the case, but there's definitely a lot of room here for me to be proven wrong. The home team has won the past 4 matchups in this game. So looks good for Ole Miss on paper, but talent-wise, LSU's got a lot of talent. I'm not even going to talk about what's going on social media right now because it doesn't even deserve our airtime. It does not deserve us to breathe on.
So many people saying that they're the best team in college football. It's just brain dead people everywhere. I don't get it.
I mainly was talking about what Matt said in the group chat the other day. Again, I'm not going to give it lip service, but it's a bunch of drama about Lane Kiffin and his family members.
Oh, that yeah.
It's ridiculous. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect the football game on the field, and I genuinely could care less. So we're not going to give it any lip service, but This game's going to be exciting. We both have really cool matchups we get to go to. Is Mississippi State ranked in the AP poll right now?
No, we were 27 if you
Yeah,
count
so
all of those.
I just had to bring that up because that's ridiculous. This should be a ranked matchup. We
Yes,
should have two
Illinois
ranked
still ranked
matchups.
after getting beat by 53, but
Mississippi State beat a top 12 team and they don't get to be ranked. It's ridiculous. AP poll's garbage, but I think that's going to go ahead and do it for us. We're really excited about this weekend. It should be a lot of fun. This is probably one of the biggest weekends college football has seen in a while. I think we also get the Ryder Cup, so it's a huge weekend for sports. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll tune back in next week with more.